After Tasha K made a startling remark that left fans speechless, social media is in complete disarray tonight. Erica may be pregnant, based on her most recent shocking revelation. Additionally, Yandy's husband is the purported father. Yes, you heard correctly. It's the kind of narrative that nobody anticipated, but everyone is unable to stop talking about it, even behind Yandy's back. Timelines were inundated with theories, screenshots, and heated discussions within minutes of Tasha releasing the video. Supporters are referring to it as the greatest betrayal, controversy in the history of hip-hop and love. Here's the twist though. Tasha didn't only imply, "I have sources from deep within the circle," she remarked bluntly. Everything about her speech, including the timing, tone, and confidence, made people pay attention. The internet is currently in a frenzy as it attempts to determine whether this explosive report is true or merely another online conflagration. What is true? What is retaliation? And what is merely amusement? Every post, like, and silence from the cast is being scrutinized by fans who are glued to their screens. Is this the ultimate betrayal that might put Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship to permanent ruin? That is the question that everyone is asking at the moment. Or was it just another unfounded rumor? Hold on tight. The entire LHHATL universe is going to be rocked by this one. Tasha K's most recent revelation was a huge shock to the internet. Nobody was ready for her words. Not the cast, not Yandy and Mendeecees, and certainly not the fans. She didn't sound lighthearted or conjectural. It was straightforward, self-assured, and infused with that distinctive Tasha demeanor that makes it clear she believes what she's saying. She leaned in close to the camera to start her live broadcast, grinning a little and said, "Now listen, I'm not here to play with nobody's marriage, but the streets are talking, and what I'm hearing is wild." She paused to build tension before uttering the line that sent social media into a frenzy. Erica's pregnant, and word is, could refer to Mendeecees as the father. A digital firestorm was started by that single sentence. Within minutes, comment sections were overflowing with fans, outraged. Some referred to it as simply another clout chase. Others, however, vowed that they had been observing odd behavior between the two for months. Clips from previous episodes of Love and Hip Hop reappeared. Scenes in which Mendeecees and Erica stood too near at gatherings, laughed at jokes, or shared screen time. One fan commented, "That time Erica laughed at his comment too hard. Now it makes sense." It was chaos, revealing how suddenly seemingly innocuous events were being re-examined through a new perspective. Yandy's supporters flocked to her page with encouraging words and prayers. With the title, "Grateful," her most recent post featured an old family photo that sparked thousands of comments, half tagging her to view Tasha's video, half protecting her. Her staff completely disabled comments in a matter of hours. According to insiders, she was caught off guard by the news and wasn't even present when it began to trend. According to one report, she discovered it when her phone began to buzz constantly. She initially believed it to be a joke, but it wasn't. The rumor was already making news on blogs by midnight. Tasha K makes a shocking pregnancy announcement. Erica is expecting a child with Mendeecees. Once more, Yandy's world falls apart. Verified entertainment pages also began to comment. Some demanded evidence, while others asserted they had first-hand knowledge of the rumor. Text message screenshots and grainy images of Erica leaving what appeared to be a clinic began to circulate. Specifically, one picture caught fire. Erica has her hand on her stomach, wearing an oversized hoodie. After examining the perspective and zooming in, fans deemed it proof. On the other side, Mendeecees fell silent. No stories, no comments, and no posts. That quiet created its own narrative. People began to see it as a sign of guilt. He would refute it if it were untrue. Silence is confession, as one commenter put it. Others countered that he was likely told to keep quiet until the situation was resolved. However, the frenzy was further heightened by the lack of reaction. Tasha doubled down in the meantime. The following, she shared a video from her live stream on Instagram this morning with the message, "I said what I said." She then shared a picture of a wink face and a baby bottle emoji. The fans went crazy. Each comment section was turned into an area for research. She wouldn't risk another lawsuit if she didn't have receipts, a person said. The lesson has not been learnt by Tasha. This must be untrue. Someone else answered. Everyone was watching, whether or not they believed her. By midday, Erica's name was popular throughout several nations. Reporters began phoning her management to request a statement, but no one answered. Rather, she shared a single story with the words, "Energy never lies," on a dark background. One user commented, "It was vague, but everyone interpreted it their own way." Another user added, "She's confirming it." Another retorted, "She's trolling, y'all." The timing, however, was too exact to be disregarded. Beyond social media, the rumor swiftly gained traction. It was taken up and examined from all sides by talk shows and celebrity podcasts. Is this just another storyline leak for the upcoming season of Love and Hip Hop? One host questioned while another said, "No, this one feels personal." You can't create that kind of Yandy reaction. Conjecture evolved into narrative, and soon the whole story was written on the internet. Mendeecees was seduced by Erica during their covert meetings while filming, and their pregnancy completely destroyed their relationship. Then something unexpected happened. An unidentified source claimed to have overheard Erica and a close friend talking on the phone about a circumstance that might change everything in voicemails uploaded to a gossip website. One line stood out in the scratchy audio. "He fears that before we figure it out, she will find out." It didn't matter if the voices weren't identified as those of Mendeecees or Erica. Supporters were persuaded. As one commenter put it, "This is too specific to be fake." Another said, by evening, the story had reached mainstream entertainment news. You can hear the terror in her voice. Analysts, bloggers, and even former cast members started to weigh in. Spice wrote on Twitter, "This business is really dirty. Ladies, keep your peace." In her story, Carly Red shared a mysterious message that included an image of a broken heart emoji and the words, "Truth always finds a way." Fans were even more suspicious after Kirk Frost liked a post on the scandal and then disliked it a few hours later. When screenshots of the unfollows began to circulate with captions such, "The loyalty switch has begun," it was alleged that Yandy's best friend, Kendra, unfollowed both Erica and Mendeecees on Instagram, further escalating the conflict. When Mendeecees finally made an appearance in public, paparazzi caught him leaving a recording studio in Atlanta. When reporters asked him about the rumor, he simply grinned tightly. That move alone ignited the internet, confirming in many fans' eyes that something genuine was happening behind the scenes, and entered his vehicle. The video went viral. Observe his expression. Someone said, "He's guilty. Now that's a man sick of stupidity." Another argued. The argument continued. Tasha continued to tease throughout this, saying in a follow-up video, "Y'all think I'm done? Oh, no, sweetheart. I received texts, voice notes, and even pictures. And believe me, the happy couple's future is not looking good." The fans went crazy. Thousands of people left comments on her live stream, setting new records. "Put the receipts away. We require evidence. Yandy should be informed." The conversation was blazing. She did not present the purported evidence. Not quite yet. However, she said, Part 2 would be released soon. That was all it needed to send the internet into a tailspin once more. Theories were already being formed by tying dates and appearances together. An in-depth analysis of Mendeecees and Erica's times in the same city was posted on Twitter by one individual. As you can see, she posted from Atlanta in July. He claimed to be there on business that same weekend. More than 100,000 people retweeted the thread. By day's end, what had begun as a rumor had developed into a complete addiction. Whether the narrative was real or not was no longer the question. Who would talk first was the question. Is it possible that Tasha may drop her receipts before Yandy finally speaks? The tension was intolerable. Furthermore, it was no longer merely rumors to the fans. It was a live-streamed reality program. Social media felt like a battlefield the morning following Tasha's shocking revelation. There was a clear rift among fans. The other half swore Tasha wouldn't risk revealing something this significant without concrete evidence, while the other half defended men's rights and called the rumor absurd. The story was posted to the top of every major gossip page, and it was now being discussed by people outside. Drama was no longer the only thing. It was now an investigation conducted online. People were examining Erica's posts frame by frame and contrasting her older and more recent photographs on timelines. "Take a look at her face. She's glowing. That's a pregnancy glow," someone commented. Others pointed out that she had shifted from body-hugging attire to baggy jumpers, claiming she was concealing her belly in every new photo. It was crazy. Overnight, everyone was a detective. Overnight, Everyone was a detective. Then something happened that put the internet into a frenzy. A brief clip purportedly from an upcoming episode of Love and Hip Hop was leaked online. The 10-second footage, which showed Erica arguing with a producer off camera and yelling, "You think I don't know what's being said about me?" was instantly connected to Tasha's admission by viewers. The pregnancy rumor is causing her to respond. The clip fueled an already blazing inferno, despite the network's lack of confirmation. One admirer wrote, "Look how nervous she looks." Mendeecees, meanwhile, could not be located on the internet. He didn't like anything, remark, publish, or do anything else. That quiet became the loudest noise of all. In an attempt to get a response, people started tagging Yandy in every blog post. "Blink twice, girl, if you're alright." Another fan commented, "Please tell us you're not believing this mess." Before publishing a short story late that evening that once again rocked the internet, Yandy remained silent for the majority of the day. 5 basic words, white writing, and a black background. "Truth always comes to light." That was it. Everyone understood exactly who she was talking about, but there were no names or explanations. It went viral in a matter of minutes. Supporting remarks poured in from fans who praised her for being strong, elegant, and unconcerned. Others, however, believed that her composure suggested that she might already be more knowledgeable than she was admitting. "She's too quiet," someone commented. Another layer of disarray struck by the following morning. "She knows something." According to a well-known blogger, Mendeecees had been visiting Atlanta more frequently than normal, and that Erica was also present. The blogger even retrieved previous postings to match locales around the same time. They asserted, "This ain't coincidence. For months, these two have been going around in the same circles." The internet was flooded with it, despite the lack of concrete proof. In a matter of hours, Erica's and Men's were popular on social media. Erica was under increasing pressure to react. She finally spoke up with a message that was both dramatic and ambiguous. "Some stories are meant to stay misunderstood." She captioned a black and white selfie she posted, expressing bewilderment rather than denial or confirmation. Her remarks went viral right away. "You don't refute it then? Is this how you say yes? Blink twice, girl, if Tasha is telling the truth." People continued to talk more because she didn't respond to any of it. Insiders began discussing Yandy's unsettled state with blogs behind the scenes. According to one close acquaintance, this devastated her, even though she was attempting to remain composed for the children. She had faith in both of them. According to another, she had a bad confrontation with Mendeecees when she addressed him personally. "You really think I'd do that to you?" He reportedly disputed everything, but the source claims Yandy didn't appear persuaded. They went on to say, "She's been through too much to disregard her instincts." The tension increased when Safari interrupted the discussion, going live on Instagram while admirers bombarded his chat with inquiries. "Y'all believe anything?" he added. "Tasha would be aware of things, but she would also remain messy." So, is he confirming it or denying it? That one sentence put everyone into a tailspin once more. When a spectator questioned, Safari simply smirked, took a sip of his drink, and ended the live stream without responding. The headlines were becoming louder and wilder, and fan pages began making timelines. These included when Erica was last seen in New York, when Mendeecees was filming in Atlanta, and when Tasha allegedly found out. At this point, every gossip page was in overdrive. Erica pregnant with Mendeecees' baby. The biggest betrayal in hip-hop and love to date. Yandy blindsided by her own circle. Tasha went live again, this time with thousands of viewers waiting before she even spoke, as the noise increased. "Everyone asking for receipts," she said. "Well, let's just say I got something that'll make y'all stop doubting," she said, slowly going through papers on her desk. People even brought up old interviews in which Tasha hinted that a major scandal was about to break. She then presented a brief video of an unidentified. The voice message was muffled but emotional, saying, "I'm scared, Tasha. If this gets out, it's going to ruin everything." She didn't identify herself, but fans were certain it was Erica because of her accent and intonation, which made it clear that she was discussing Mendeecees. Regardless of whether it was real or not, the internet went crazy. Despite the lack of confirmation, fans urged Yandy to leave Mendeecees, saying, "Once a cheater, always a cheater." Others urged everyone to refrain from making snap judgments, saying, "We don't even know if she's pregnant." One commenter said, "This could all be fake." Erica's closest friends attempted to defend her, But even their words backfired. With one posting, people believe anything online. However, reason was powerless against the already roaring tempest. Half of what's actually happening is unknown to you all. There is a half. That is true. So that only made matters worse. What half? As the rumor reached its zenith, Mendeecees' silence began to damage his reputation as people started calling him out directly. "You owe your wife a public statement," one follower wrote under his old post. The comments were unrelenting, and it seemed like everyone was profiting from the chaos. The more ambiguous the posts, the more eager the fans were for details. "You were quiet the last time too," said another. "Admit it." However, he continued to provide no explanation or denial, making it seem as though he had entirely disappeared, leaving the rumors to grow. Then, suddenly, another unexpected development occurred when a fan shared a photo purporting to be of Mendeecees at an Atlanta restaurant. They were at the same place at the same time? "No, this isn't a coincidence," someone wrote. The post read, "Caught. The lighting, the setting, and even the timing matched the restaurant where Erica had been tagged days before." Whether the photo was real or not, it became the visual confirmation fans had been waiting for. And once it was on the internet, there was no going back. "He really did it," someone else said. The photo was immediately reposted by blogs, and the captions became even more sensational. "Mendeecees and Erica were spotted together. Is this the proof Tasha was talking about?" The question was not whether Tasha's rumor was true anymore, but rather how much damage would be done once the dust settled. The storm only got darker in the days that followed, with the same headline appearing on every blog, podcast, and entertainment page in slightly different words. Now, everyone wanted to know how Yandy would react. Would she remain silent, or would she finally come clean and tell the truth? Fans couldn't take their eyes off the unfolding saga that Tasha K's shocking revelation tore apart the love and hip-hop family. People were obsessed, staying up late scrolling through clips, screenshots, and alleged insider leaks. The worst part was that nobody was speaking, not openly, not clearly, and not enough to stop the. By this point, the families of Yandy and Mendeecees had been drawn into the turmoil, preventing the rumor from becoming its own reality. One of Mendeecees' cousins went live on Instagram, clearly frustrated. He replied, "You guys need to quit spreading lies. Nobody is pregnant, and Tasha is just doing what she always does, which is to chase clicks." Fans accused him of covering up for his cousin. But rather than cooling things down, his remarks simply sparked more controversy. A few hours later, Tasha struck again, posting another cryptic message that said, "Denial is the first stage." "Of course, the family's going to deny it," someone replied. "That's precisely what they claimed the last time there was a scandal." Later, acceptance occurs. When paired with a wine glass and a baby emoji, it immediately sparked a new discussion. People couldn't help but wonder if she was bluffing or sitting on something explosive when blogs reposted it with captions like "Tasha doubles down, and is she hinting at new receipts?" Then, a voice message purportedly from someone close to production started making the rounds online, in which a woman could be heard saying, "They told us to stay quiet till it airs." Because of this, no one is disputing it. They're saving it for the show. The idea that this whole scandal might be part of a hidden storyline sent the fandom into another frenzy. So, is it real or scripted? They're playing with our emotions. The voice wasn't recognizable, but fans swore it was a crew member from Love and Hip Hop.